What is going on, Colts Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Bring the Juice. Guys, we have to talk about this. The news came out this morning about Anthony Richardson and his shoulder injury that he sustained in Sunday's game against the Tennessee Titans. So let's just get to the facts real quick. So, again, no question about it. The Indianapolis Colts quarterback, Anthony Richardson, has confirmed to have a AC joint sprain in his shoulder. We mentioned it during the game. The x-rays were negative, which is a great thing. Means that there was no bone damage, which is a great thing to happen. And ironically enough, this is the same injury that Anthony Richardson had sustained in high school. Same thing happened to him in high school. So, I mean, to this severity, I have no idea, but it is something very similar to what he'd had in high school. So, I don't know if it was on the same shoulder or not, but nevertheless, that's what they're dealing with. An AC joint, basically one of the joints that helps connect your shoulder to the rotator cuff right here. And then they said that it is a grade 3, which means that you would see a obvious disformity in the shoulder. It's not the highest grade you can get on it. There's 6 grades to an AC joint. So thankfully it's not any higher. You start getting into the 4, 5, or even higher in the 6, you can start talking about without serious rehab, you could have like injury to that shoulder forever. So thankfully we avoided that. No issues there. The ultimate question is how long is this going to keep Anthony Richardson out? Well, I mean, we've heard, we saw Derek Carr have this same injury and he came back. I think he only had a grade 1, which resulted in, allowing him to be back after just 1 week. They just rehabbed the heck out of it during that time, but he was able to come back after a game. But for Anthony Richardson's sake, it does not look like that is going to be the case. From what we have heard is that by the time I'm recording this video, Anthony Richardson is still getting differing opinions from different doctors on how to approach this. From what we originally heard was this will keep him out for a month, maybe longer. And that's what we were hearing was this morning that, he may have to miss 4, 5, 6 games. And we were thinking, the Colts have a bye week. I think either week 11 or week 12. And, you go out there and, week 12 or week 13, he's back most likely. And we're like, okay, he can finish out the season with that. It stinks that he has to have that, but nevertheless, he would still finish out the year. Now we're hearing from Josina Anderson and a few other potential people that surgery is still an option for Anthony Richardson. Now, if Anthony Richardson does have to have surgery, then that would mean that he is that he would miss the entirety of the season. Because if he were to have a surgery, most likely the timetable is that he would end up having to take 4 to 6 months to get back to being fully healthy. And that would totally take him out of the season. We're really hoping that he would not have to have that kind of surgery. Again, don't know all the information on that right now. So we're just going to have to continue. To wait and see how he responds to it. The Colts have considered placing him on the short-term IR. Not entirely sure. Again, he's still getting evaluated. So Shane Steichen will not do anything with him until they know for certain what the extent of the injury and how bad it is going to be. I mean, again, they're having a second and third opinion on how to approach this, and we're just going to have to figure it out. If he doesn't have to have surgery, then most likely it's a 6 to 8 week recovery time. It is what it is. I'm not too worried about the extent of it. This really stinks because, again, we talked about how it's unfortunate we win this game, and you have the Shane Steichen thing with Gardner Minshew, and now Gardner Minshew comes out and he has to be the starting quarterback for at least the immediate future and the extended future, at least for a while until he gets back. But again, for all the people that are wondering, should they change up, making sure he never does a routine run ever again, or a design run for that matter. Again, this was such a bizarre injury because, like 99 out of 100 times Anthony Richardson makes that run, and that just never happens, and he very rarely has any designed runs. Anthony Richardson just got unlucky with the situation that he was in. I mean, it's just an unfortunate part of the game, but I mentioned it on Twitter. There are a lot of quarterbacks that have had injuries in the past that really started their career injured. Matt Stafford and Josh Allen are two of them that had injuries really early in their career, and we've seen what they've become, right? So at the end of the day, I'm not too worried about what's going to happen going forward. I'm not going to say it's the end of the world here. Obviously, it sucks that Anthony Richardson is most likely going to miss the majority of the remaining part of the season, one way or another. You just certainly hope that it's not a season ender and that he is going to be able to play at the end of this, near the end of this year, and still salvage something out of this season. So we'll keep you guys updated. I'm sure we'll find out more about it in the next day or so. But until then, guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always,